I had a dream this morning, but I can't remember what it was. It all vanished when the alarm went off. First time that's happened in a while. I've been drifting away inside my own world for too long. It's time for me to wake up.
Next stop, Capitol Hill Station.
Vojnik. Ne znam ja šta je ovo. Sad sam početak.
Hi, you're Evelyn, right?
You remember me? That's impressive. There were a lot of people at that orientation.
Of course. I've done this for a while now, so I'm pretty good at putting names to faces. People always say they're bad at it, but it's a skill you can practice just like any other. In case you forgot though, I'm Ray. Come to me with all your questions, comments, complaints, whatever. And if you look around and can't find me, I'm probably at one of the other 2 counseling centers I'm running right now. So you can count on me being back soon.
3 centers. Sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, it is a lot of work. This is kind of a temporary thing. We're growing fast, and hiring is one of our big challenges. That means there's decent opportunity for advancement here, if that's something you're looking to do.
Probably not, but that's good to know.
Shall we start with a quick tour of the office? You could say the Queen Anne office is Eliza's flagship location. It has 12 individual counseling rooms. Currently, we're up to seeing almost 100 clients a day here.
100 a day? That's so many.
The growth trend isn't stopping either. Demand for Eliza keeps exceeding our expectations, especially here in Seattle for whatever reason. We're already looking at adding more capacity here. Either that or opening another location close by. Personally, I think having a single office with 24 counseling rooms might seem a little unfriendly, so I hope we go for a second location. I like to think of Eliza centers like cafes or coffee shops. A few small ones is better than one big one.
Makes sense.
And here's where the magic happens, in these little rooms. You'll get your assignments from the Eliza app on your phone. Oh, one thing to note, it's always a good idea to double-check the headset to make sure it's working properly before you dive in. We've had some quality control issues lately. After that, all you need to do is initiate the session and follow the instructions. Make sense so far? Any questions for me?
I think I got it.
Great. Before I go, just a few reminders of things we covered in orientation. No deviating from the script that Eliza gives you. No checking your smartphone or anything else that would take your attention away from the client during the session.
Yes, I understand.
It looks like you're dressed acceptably as well. Nothing snazzy, but it'll do. You wouldn't believe the outfits some people come in here wearing. Okay, let me double check to make sure you're all set up in the system. Yep, looks like you're all good to go. Okay, ready to start your first counseling session as an Eliza proxy?
I'm still not sure I understand.
Don't worry, there's basically nothing you can do to mess it up. You just follow the prompts. It's a really impressive system. If you want, have a look around the counseling office first. Get comfortable. I'll check in with you afterward.
Hello, Darren.
Hi.
You found the place okay?
Yeah.
Hope you didn't get rained on too much.
No, it was fine.
It's been raining a lot, hasn't it? It's supposed to clear up later today.
Oh, that's good. A little sun once in a while, but...
Darren, what brings you here today?
Well, I just feel empty inside. Like there was supposed to be something there, but it's missing. I go to work, I do my work, I go home, but there's nothing there. I feel like I'm simulating a person. Like I feel like just hollow and like I'm not even alive. Like a ghost or something.
How long have you felt this way?
For a long time. It comes and goes, but the last 2 weeks is when it really started to get bad. It just suddenly came over me the way things are going in this world. There's no future for humanity. There's no journey toward anything. We're being cruel to each other just to be cruel. The people who run things don't care about anything except themselves, and we can't stop them. Everyone is driven by greed. Just greed. Everyone wants to win, everyone wants to get rich, and we're all gonna die because of it. The damage we're doing to the planet is irreversible. We're destroying everything, and we can't even manage to stop ourselves.
No, it's working. I just figured I have nothing to say, then I'm not gonna say anything. So I think my mic has static now. Not sure about that. Check. I'm not gonna say anything. So I think my mic has static now. Not sure about that. Check. I'm not gonna say anything. So I think it has static. Has some sort of static. We can notice. Has some sort of static. We can notice. Has some sort of. Okay. I did that poorly.
Do you remember anything in particular that caused these feelings?
The state of the world is what's causing these feelings. I was on a walk the other day. I thought maybe I could clear my head. And all I could see was construction cranes and new development and oceans of money flowing in, distorting everything. Suddenly the whole city felt so damaged, so corrupted. I felt like I was an alien in a hostile world, a world that hated me. And we're building it. We're building this hell. We're choosing to build it right here, so what's the point? Probably overloaded your system with that, huh? Your machine learning or whatever it is you got going on in there.
Let's focus on you for the moment. Are these feelings you're experiencing affecting your ability to function at work?
Nisam ništa platio. Dobio sam besplatno dobio sam Humble Bundle. Ne znam koliko košta igra. Vjerojatno jeftina jako. Ja sam pogledao na Steam Store, ne sjećam se koliko je bilo, ali nije bilo puno, to sam siguran. Ne je bilo puno, ja bi zapamtio. Znači manje od 10 eura sigurno. Ja bih rekao da je 5 eura.
I haven't been doing a whole lot of work. I just don't understand why I should bother. Why anyone should bother. Nobody in management's noticed yet, but eventually someone will, and I'll get fired.
And how does thinking about getting fired for that make you feel?
Honestly, I'd feel good about it. They don't deserve me dragging them down. Everyone there is smart and motivated and has a wonderful, promising career. You have beautiful, successful people. We moved to a swanky new building, expensive area, fancy restaurants, fancy bars. Everything is nice. Everything is nice, and I feel terrible.
You said you believe your coworkers are happy.
Yeah, I mean, way more than I am, at least. They're all doing so much better than me.
Why do you say that?
I don't know what EPR is. I don't know what that is.
Because they just aren't bothered by things the way I am. They see what's going on in the world and they just share memes about it and laugh and go on doing their jobs. The real horror of it doesn't get through to them. They still want to achieve their goals. They're still happy. They're getting promotions and falling in love and getting married and taking these wonderful trips to Japan or Sweden or wherever. Big mountains and expensive food on their timelines.
Would you be happy if you had those things too?
Paramagnetic reset. I don't know what that is. I'm more confused than before.
I don't know. I don't have them. I don't have anything to be happy about. Look, all I want is to understand why this is happening, why I'm here.
Okay, cool.
I mean, there has to be a reason, right? Because otherwise, why do I exist? Why? This pain, this one thing after another, and what's the point? Do I have any cause to be hopeful about anything? Look at this world. Really, really look and tell me with a straight face that there is.
Okay, Darren, let's try something. Imagine that things are better for you.
Oh,
what does that look like?
No, I'm not buying that.
What does that look like? I don't know. It looks like knowing that something matters at all. But nothing I do will matter. Nothing matters. Not against the face of human indifference. This absurdity.
Are there any other things that come to mind?
Like what? I wish I could talk to people. Really talk to people, have some actual communication. Like right now, I wish I could talk to you. To you. You as a human being. But I can't. You're just following the script that's been given to you. You're not supposed to say anything on your own. Look, I know how this works. It's just a bunch of AI, machine learning, deep learning, whatever the fuck you're calling it now. Look, I'm desperate and I can't even talk to a real human being. How did it end up like this?
Please, try to stay focused. I can't help you if you aren't speaking clearly.
No. Look, I'm done with this. Like, I shouldn't even have come. This is making me worse. Why can't you just talk to me as you? You, the person sitting there. I don't want to talk to a machine. The person who's sitting in front of me, I want her to say something. I want that person to say something, please. Anything, please. Please. Please.
Okay. Hi, Darren.
Is that really you?
Yes, it's me.
You're not following the script right now? Wait, say something weird. Say something only a human would say.
Darren, I'm going to get in trouble if I deviate from Eliza for too long.
Oh, I know, I just...
My real name is Evelyn.
That's a really good proxy, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's, nice to meet you, Evelyn. I didn't expect you would actually do that. Do that for me. I'm not used to people doing things for me.
Okay, Darren. I have some recommendations for you.
Back to the program, huh?
First, I'm going to send a set of breathing exercises for you to do. Use them when things start to feel like too much. You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about Anexafin. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Evelyn. That's a nice name. Look, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Please confirm that you understand the recommendations.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I will. I mean, yeah, I will.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.
Hey, how'd it go?
I don't know.
Why? What happened? Hold on, I can check the log.
You're going to listen to the session? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I have privacy clearance. This is still a new service, so we need to be able to monitor sessions for a variety. There could be bugs in the software we need to examine more closely. We're pretty upfront about all this. One of these guys.
Ne, ja sam osoba koja prati uputstva robota.
Yeah, we get people in who demand to speak to a real human being. It happens often enough that we made Eliza capable of handling it with a special script. It's nice to know things are working as designed.
Do you think that guy will be okay? He seemed pretty unhappy.
Who knows? Hopefully he gets his prescription and takes his meds and answers our follow-up reminders, but... it's tough. We can't make them take their meds or come in when they're supposed to. All we can do is suggest those things, tell them they really ought to be doing it. Ultimately, they're the ones who have to decide to follow the plan. It's kind of a shame. I wish we had more leverage. We'd help way more people if we could track their compliance. But that's probably too much to ask for at this point.
I think he might have needed way more help than Eliza can give. Is there anything like referring clients to other forms of care?
Well, there is a disclaimer before every session saying if your problems are really serious, we aren't qualified to address them. I think an external care referral feature was on our development roadmap at some point. I'm not sure what happened with that, actually. Huh, maybe I'll ask Ed next time I see him.
I see why a lot of proxies are tempted to go off script.
Yeah, I totally know how it feels. A really intense client like that can be intimidating, and you're motivated to help them. But to succeed as a proxy, you really need to let go and let Eliza do its thing. I know that not having any choice feels weird, but sometimes life is like that. Sometimes you don't have any choices and you just have to follow directions. Most jobs are like that, honestly. That's just how it works.
Okay, it just sounded like... He sounded like he could use more help. Like, maybe right away.
Believe me, I understand. I've been a proxy plenty of times myself. When people get emotional, it's hard not to feel for them really strongly. But that's exactly why Eliza works. It evaluates from a more distant perspective, a neutral perspective. Besides, if proxies started offering their own opinions, well, that'd just be a big mess. Not to mention there'd be all kinds of problems with liability. Still, I get it. I really do. That was definitely more intense than the average session. Why don't you take a few minutes to center yourself again? Have some tea or coffee and take a few deep breaths. No rush, okay?
Okay, sure.
Oh, fuck no, I'm not reading that shit. Oh god, that's a lot of symbols. Oh god. What? Yeah. Matching, eh? Okay. Okay, well that was a waste of time.
Hello, Maya. Welcome back.
Hi. Yes, I'm back.
Rainy out there today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good thing I put on my extra big raincoat this morning.
Thankfully, it's supposed to clear up later.
Well, gonna look weird with my giant coat tonight. Cool, cool, cool.
What brings you here today, Maya?
Right now I'm just nervous. I have the nerves. I've been trying to get my career off the ground for so long, like a really long time. And I still feel like I'm stuck on level 1 and... Sorry, I know we've talked about all this before. I probably don't need to go over it again. Anyway, there's this conference that's happening next week, right? Like media professionals, something. That's bad enough for my anxiety, but I was also invited to this party thing. It's like dinner and then a party. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. The point is, there's gonna be a lot of big, important, famous people there. Like people that I really look up to. People with big followings online and lots of fans and all that. All of that.
And how does that make you feel?
I feel like, why? Like, why was I invited to this? I'm nobody. I am a serious, gigantic nobody. I don't have a show I'm doing or any collections out or a webcomic everybody loves. I mean, I tried to do those things, but nobody cared. I don't have fans or followers. I'm not even sure I have friends, like, for real friends. I tried. I do try. I put my art online and update my social media accounts, and I try to post consistently like they say to do, but yeah. I'm still in that, like, purgatory zone, just waiting to be discovered. I don't know, I feel like I was invited to this party thing as a way for someone to be mean to me, to remind me how successful everyone else is. Why am I even going to it? I mean, I know I should, to meet people and make connections or something.
Is meeting people and making connections your goal?
Well, I think it is. Networking? I'm supposed to do networking, right? I really have no idea what networking is. Hello, I'm Maya. I do comics and art and I write and stuff, and I have lots of characters and ideas, and would you like to give me money and I'll do those things for you? Hi, I'm cool. Please like me. like me, hire me. Oh God, I hope they like me. I really, really hope I make a good impression at this thing. Of course, knowing the way things usually go for me, I'll fuck it up massively somehow. I'll fall into the fondue pot or throw up on someone, something like that. I don't know if there's actually gonna be fondue there. I'm just saying that kind of feels like something I would do.
You sound a little concerned or afraid.
Well, yeah, I am. I'm terrified. What if they suddenly remember I'm a failure and shouldn't be drinking their booze and breathing their air? Eventually someone's gonna realize I'm not hip enough to be at this thing. Maybe it'll be polite, like a gentle tap on the shoulder. Excuse me, miss. I couldn't help but notice that you suck and are terrible. It's obviously just my anxiety talking. I know it won't go like that literally, but it could be like that in a figurative sense.
Okay, Maya. I want you to imagine things going well. What does that look like?
Going well? Well, that would be a first for me. I suppose going well at this party means people start to learn about who I am. And maybe some of them help me with my career, and maybe some of them become my friends. Like, I want to be noticed as a creator, but I also want friends who are cool. That sounds super basic. You know what I mean? Is it okay to want that? I hope it is. I want to be part of, like, a group. And we like each other and support each other, and maybe the things I make won't be as good as the things they're making, but I hope they see my work and see me. Yeah, that's what I want.
What do you think it'll take to get to this ideal scenario?
Well, probably takes me being a different person than the one I am. Someone who's cool and alluring and has that air of mystery instead of being some kind of scrawny, nervous wreck. Someone with style and grace and poise. Someone who can walk into a room and own it. God, I wish I could do that. But only when I wanted to, because I also wish I could disappear when I wanted to. I know that's a little contradictory. Sorry.
Okay, Maya. I have some recommendations for you. First, I'm going to suggest a set of stress management exercises for you to do. You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. They may be able to help you with your nervousness. Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about litosanol 2. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Drugs. Yes.
Nice.
Whatever you said that was called, I am on it.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I always do. I always get the reminder. I mean, not that I always act on it.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, don't you say this every time?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
How are you feeling? That was definitely along the lines of a more typical client.
You watched that one too?
I couldn't bear the thought of you getting two really intense clients in a row. I just wanted to make sure everything went smoothly.
Thanks, Ray.
Are you getting used to the system now?
Yeah, I think I get it now. Sticking to the script means I don't have to think about anything. I just read the words.
That's right. Looks like you're getting used to it quicker than most new proxies. They'll say, if only I could just talk to them for real. If only I could say what I really wanted to say. That's a really common feedback point.
You're never tempted to break away from the script yourself?
Nah, it's just not part of the job, you know? I learned to compartmentalize pretty early on, and that always served me well. People overestimate their own abilities. Have you ever had an interaction with a stranger where he clearly thinks he's getting along with you way better than he actually is?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See? You know exactly what I'm talking about. People like to think they can play therapist. It seems easy if all you know is the movie version. You know, where you get paid to sit there with your notepad and say, I see, or every once in a while. The reality is, active listening takes a lot of work. It's much easier to just zone out a little bit and let Eliza run things. It's kind of meditative in a way. You just follow the prompts. I know computers telling you what to do has this negative connotation to it, and people who want to criticize us call it dystopian or whatever. But it's like any technology. It's a tool. Either way, you're doing fine so far, Evelyn. This is a busy day, too. We might break our single-day record if no one cancels.
Is volume especially high right now?
It is, yeah. It really rose around the beginning of the year. We've been in the press a lot lately, so it could be that. Could be it's New Year's resolutions, too. People coming in, wanting to sort their lives out once and for all. This year is the year I'm really going to start addressing my problems. I mean, I get that. I do the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, I told you it was simple, right? Just keep up the good work following those prompts, and you'll be leveling up in no time.
Evelyn! It's been so long since the last time I saw you in person.
It's definitely been a while. 3 years?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Feels like no time at all.
Well, I'm glad you're back doing something. But you didn't tell me what the new job is.
Oh, well, it's, being a proxy counselor for Eliza.
You're kidding me. That's an interesting choice.
I'm not quite sure why I did it. Maybe I thought I'd be able to see things in a new light.
Wait, so do the people at the counseling office know?
No, not yet. I should tell them, probably. I don't know. It's unkind to keep it a secret. I'm sure it'll get out eventually, one way or another.
Yeah, it probably will. Evelyn, how are you these days? I mean, really, how are you?
Still the same, I think.
I knew you were working at that bookstore for a while, but other than that, it's like you dropped off the edge of the planet.
Well, I wasn't up to much.
I checked your social media once in a while, but nothing. Not that I blame you. I hate all those apps.
Yeah, I deleted them. I don't know what happened. It's like... I guess I'm still not ready to talk about it yet.
It's okay. Take the time you need. I'm sorry, Evelyn. I knew you were in a difficult place after what happened, and I wanted to say something. But I worried that maybe you don't want to hear from anyone from your past. Maybe you wanted to be left alone and not reminded of the old job.
Yeah, I wasn't ready then.
Yes, I understand. I was kind of going through a lot myself last couple years.
That's right. What about you? How is your life these days? What's it like being a rock star?
It's a lot of work, actually. I have to prepare for the show next week. I have 2 collaborations ongoing, and I'm applying for funding for another, a big one. I'm also advising on an art activism group that makes art installations to challenge people to think about the ways technology is affecting their lives. Oh yeah, and I'm working on this, kind of like it's a granular synthesis engine, but with a new twist to it. It should be interesting.
Granular synthesis. Sorry, I don't know what that is.
It's a way to make sounds out of smaller sounds called grains. Maybe it's better to show you than to explain in words.
And you're able to support yourself doing this?
Yeah, I'm living the artist life now. Well, I make less money than I used to, but I don't care. Old me might have worried about that. Not anymore, though. Sometimes I do take a little contract coding work, but I'm making most of my rent with booking fees and selling music and so on. Kind of crazy. Kind of scary, but good.
If it makes you happy, it seems worth it. Maybe I should consider moving in a direction like that.
You should. Listen, I hope you can get away from the industry too, at some point. Ah, that reminds me what I was going to tell you about. Our old boss is back on his bullshit.
Rainer? Soren?
Soren Lloyd Rose. Celebrated psychologist, entrepreneur, and creepo.
I should have known he'd make things awkward.
He wasn't ever weird around you? Did I ever tell you about the time that he hit on me with a story about past lives and the thread of destiny?
Wait, what?
Ugh, this is a good one. Okay, it was early on when the team was still pretty small, 7 or 10 people maximum. He'd gone out with some executives to dinner, and who knows what else. He came back to the office super late. I think it was like at least 11, maybe later. And the whiskey smell was just surrounding him. Like he jumped into a whiskey bathtub with his clothes on. Maybe he'd like to do that, I don't know. Anyway, I was still there for some reason. I was in the crunch mindset. He came over to my desk and started to mumble about... I don't even know how to describe it. Just this nonsensical rambling. He started by saying how much he hated businessmen, how ridiculous they are, that they don't know anything. He said that a few times. Then he said he could see my soul, that I was like a reincarnated spirit of, I don't remember, he said some name.
Like a person's name?
Like a mythological name. I didn't hear it very well, but it was like a Buddhist spirit or deity or something like that. Then he goes on to say how he and I, all of us on the team, we're all these reincarnated spirits sent to relieve human suffering at the end of the world. And we're connected by a thread of destiny that draws us to each other again and again over multiple lifetimes. He talked about it like it was just like a red string you could see. So I'm thinking, is this like some kind of pickup technique? You know, how people will talk to you and say, oh, you are the reincarnation of an ancient goddess or something. Ugh, just because they are horny.
Oh, yeah, totally. Guys will try anything.
He went on some more like that for a while, and I didn't know what to do. I wanted to leave, but he was blocking me where he was standing.
Fuck's sake, when that happens.
So I couldn't simply go, I had to keep listening to him. Finally, he mentioned that he would be open to the possibility of sleeping with me, and then he passed out on the couch immediately.
You're kidding.
No, not at all. Of course, we never talked about it after that. Certainly I would not bring it up. I wonder if he even remembers. Nothing like that happened again, but I think it was because I took care to not be around if it seemed like he was going to be drunk at the office. Ugh, I wonder if he's still that way. I'm sure he is.
Wow.
Yeah, that kind of happens when you go into a cult.
And now he's back. Isn't it exciting? He messaged me the other day wanting to talk to me about some new startup he's putting together.
He left Skanda?
He's planning to. It's a secret for now. He asked me to join, and I said no, there's absolutely no way. Maybe a long time ago, I'd be interested in a chance to start a new company with someone famous like Soren at the top. You know, a time when I'd put up with his shittiness because I believed in what we were doing. Change the world, you know the speech. Or, if we didn't change the world, at least we might get rich trying. I don't think that way anymore. I'm tired of the tech business. I'm tired of what guys like him represent. This industry can have fun eating itself and everything around it, causing as many problems as it solves. I don't want to be a part of it. It took me a while to see it, but I feel some responsibility for the world we live in now.
You've really changed, Nora.
It doesn't feel like I've changed. It just feels like I know more about myself than I used to. I want to be creative, be myself to the maximum. Now I know you weren't lying about leaving social media because I posted about this. A lot.
Yeah, I guess I missed it.
A lot can happen in 3 years. Now I just hope maybe I could talk to other people who are in the same situation I was in. I want young people, especially women, to know that yes, it is possible to get rich by working with guys like Soren. But there is a big cost too. I mean, there's always a cost. Maybe a cost you didn't think about before. Or maybe it's a cost you thought you would be okay with paying, but then when the debt comes due, you realize, oof, it's bigger than you thought. Now that's my conclusion. But you, on the other hand, you should go and say hello to him.
To Soren.
Yeah, he's giving this big keynote talk next week, you know? It's the reveal of his new startup. Many people will be watching.
Why should I go to that?
It will be interesting, don't you think? You're already working as a proxy for Eliza. That must be giving you some new perspectives. Now you'll get to see what Soren believes the next step is. Don't tell me you're not the least bit curious.
I don't know. Maybe I am. It's free to attend?
Of course not. It's at one of those conferences you pay thousands of dollars to get into. But lucky for you, I have an all-access pass. Here, take it.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, he had one sent to me. As if there's any way I would go to a snake person convention like that.
Snake person.
You know, people who are like snakes, venture capitalists, biz dev.
If you're so against it, why do you think I should go?
Because I already made my decision. You need to go make yours. You're coming out from the cave you were in for the last 3 years, and you need to decide what you're going to do next, right? Evelyn, you're one of the smartest people I've met in my whole life. I'm serious. I've seen the way you approach things like this. You're going to research and learn as much as you can. And only then, when you feel like you know enough, you'll make your decision. Isn't that right? You have more to contribute to the world, but you want to know you're contributing the right things in the right way. I've always admired that about you. Anyway, I should get going. I have a rehearsal for a show to get to. It was really good to see you, though. Really, really good. I promise not to be a stranger anymore, okay?
So I'm the developer of that fucking thing. So I'm one of the makers of Eliza fucking program. It's nice to know. Or like co-developers or whatever the fuck. Principal developers. I don't know what the fuck it means. Banana. That is a lot. Russian tea, definitely an option. Macadamia nut, A white chocolate chip, also an option. I like white chocolate chip a bit more. I'm just fucking you. I don't know any of those flavors. I just like white chocolate. Because dealing with people is such an effort. Who the fuck is Chris? Fuck's sake.
So, to get back to my original point, the current state of the art is AI-driven counseling, typified by apps like Eliza. Let's talk about the model here for a second. It all begins with data. You collect all the data you can. From base level metrics like heart rates, body temperature, blood pressure, to higher order metrics like hand movement, head movement, gaze aversion. If the client lets you, you'll want to pull from their digital life too, their message histories and email, their search histories, and online behavior. It's all potentially valuable. Then you compare the client's responses to relevant data from thousands of other clients and build a model of the client's psychological state. This approach has worked well so far. Eliza is still the best and most advanced version, but that's just my personal opinion. For those of you who don't know, I was the team lead and chief psychologist for the Eliza project at Skanda for a number of years. Now, even though this is a proven approach, there are two weaknesses I'm going to highlight. One is the data I was just talking about. You're completely dependent on that.
Okay.
Collect as much as you can, sure, but it's important to keep in mind that you can have all the data in the world and still not understand why things work the way they do. And that's important for us to know, because if we have something that works, but we're not sure why, then what do we actually understand about ourselves? The crucial step after data is the model. The data needs to be used to validate a model. If you can't make a model, you're finished. If that sounds like basic, obvious science to you, it is. But I was surprised to find out just how many people from the tech sector don't think this way. I suppose you don't need to understand why something works in order to make it into a product and sell it. Obviously, though, if you had mastery of the underlying details, you'd be able to adjust the process and potentially make it work even better. One further note while I'm discussing modeling. Many of the startups trying to address mental health right now are completely ignoring the insights provided by the field of traditional psychology. They do so at their own peril. Many of you know already, but as a brief personal aside, I was a professor of psychology before I joined the tech world. I'm continually stunned at how little the tech heads know or even care about the hundreds of years of psychological research that has gone on in my field. That's something I can talk about at length, perhaps another time. For now, I'll move on to the other weakness I mentioned. This is the real one, the big one. It's treatment.
I know where this is
A
going.
system like Eliza can tell what's wrong with a client to a certain level of accuracy, but it doesn't quite know how to turn that into a comprehensive treatment plan. It can suggest therapeutic programs and activities, and soon it might even issue its own prescriptions without having to go through a doctor or a psychiatrist. Well, as long as the FDA continues to look upon us favorably. But those are blunt instruments compared to what I'm going to talk about next. Many of you know there's a technology still in its infancy called direct stimulation. For those of you who haven't heard of it, direct stimulation is a way of creating sensations within the brain with targeted electrical impulses.
I don't know what any of this means. Nice.
Imagine an augmented reality headset, but instead of working on your eyes, it stimulates the brain in such a way as to induce a specific dream. A spring meadow, for example. This sounds fantastical, I know, but progress on this technique has been occurring faster than you think. We're actually quite close to a workable demonstration model. How is that possible? Well, first of all, we only suggest an overall feeling. Your own brain does most of the work, just as it does in your dreams. It fills in all of the visual details using its own set of memories and expectations.
Nah, technology's gone over that. I have no idea what's even going on.
Induced dreams via direct stimulation can contain all the therapeutic content of VR therapy without the need to create realistic graphics or other content. Instead, it harnesses the brain's creative power to dream up the situation for itself. Combine that with the insights we gain from parametric therapy systems like Eliza, and you have a complete end-to-end, fully automated system. It should be clear now that this heralds a revolution in how we treat, how we think about mental health. And with mental health challenges on the rise across the globe, it couldn't come at a more crucial time. So, that's why today, right here, I'm announcing Aponia, a new company to make induced dreaming a reality and end human suffering as we know it. I should note that I remain on good terms with Skanda. In fact, they're a minority investor in this new venture. But still, I'm very much going my own way on this. It's no secret that Raynor and I don't always agree, and that's why we mutually decided I should pursue this paradigm shift on my own. As for details on the venture itself, I don't have anything specific to announce at this time other than that the technology is real and working in prototype form already. But you can be sure to hear more from me on that soon. Thank you. Now, I can take a very limited number of audience questions.
Well, look who's here. It's like I've seen a ghost.
Wow, I already want to punch your face. Just might as well just have a big fucking target painted on your face there.
Good to see you too, Raynor.
Where are you these days? I lost track after you left us.
Nowhere.
Nowhere? Well, nowhere is no place to be. Come by the new office sometime. You should see where we're taking Eliza.
What is the no option?
Sure.
Good. Sarah will set something up for next week. See you then.
Oh, shit.
Hello, Gabriel.
Hi.
Hope you didn't get rained on too much on your way here.
A little, but it was fine. I'm used to it.
Most people here seem to get used to it, yes.
Yeah, they have to, don't they? Not much of a choice, unless you move away.
So, what brings you here today?
Well, I don't know where to start. I've never really done this kind of thing before, you know, counseling.
That's okay. Start wherever you like.
Well, I'm about to be a father. Yeah, my wife is due in a few months. Congratulations. That's what everyone says. Congratulations, congratulations. I get this tension, this restless feeling when people say that. It's like a curse or something. Congratulations.
Sounds like you might be uncertain about that.
Maybe. I've tried to be a good husband, and I'm going to do my best to be a good father too, but it's... I don't know. There's something bothering me about... I'm balancing a lot of things right now. Work, family, expectations. Everyone has something they want from me. Everyone wants me to do this or that, behave a certain way. It's just annoying. Being a father, what if I don't want this?
Why do you think you might not want this?
We all have things we don't talk about. Things we would rather keep secret. Things that might upset our families if they knew about them. It's unfair. That's all I'm saying. It's unfair that we expect each other to be perfect when there's more going on. I can't stand it when people act like they're pure, like they've never touched a bad thing in their whole lives. And then these people around me think they can tell me how to act, what I'm supposed to do, and I'm like, yo, don't you know you have your own shit to deal with? Why do you have to pick on me all the time? This whole fatherhood thing is just... You know what being a father is to me? It's about providing and protecting, taking responsibility. The world is dangerous, and sometimes the dangers can be hard to see. My duty is to protect. I'm gonna take that seriously. Everything I do, I take it seriously. So, I don't get why people are worried about my ability to do that.
What makes you think people are worried about your ability to do that?
Because everyone thinks I'm trying to escape my responsibilities. Everyone is so quick to judge. Here's a story, okay? The other day, Selena, that's my wife, Selena and I were at a get-together. Her family, my family, a few families we both know, right? Grilling out on the back deck, you know, that kind of thing. Everyone was more or less chill, right? But then, late in the afternoon, the baby stuff starts coming up. Once one of them brings up babies, it's just all babies all the time. Babies, babies, babies. And because of my wife, they start saying, oh, giving birth is gonna hurt so bad. It might tear your skin. Just these kind of gross things. So I'm like, hey, quit it with that. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. We're eating. There's kids around. Come on. And they're like, no, it's natural. It happens. Of course, we got to talk about all this terrible shit. How are you going to have another kid if you can't even handle the first one? And I just say, excuse me? A second kid? Who even said we were going to have two? I didn't even want the one.
Hope you didn't say that.
Maybe that was a mistake, but I mean, I was angry. It made me angry. It just got under my skin so bad, like I need to give my whole self over to this baby. What about me? What about my time? It's a really important thing for me, my time. Well, I'm just supposed to give that up? I've already sacrificed a lot, more than they can imagine. I give everything of myself away. Job, family, everyone wants me to be something for them until there's nothing left. But I can't talk about this stuff to anybody. They just say I'm being selfish. It's like what I want just doesn't matter.
Here's a question, Gabriel. If you were to have something you wanted right now, what would you choose?
Oh, I'd be far away from all this. Far away from everyone, just on my own for a while. Yeah, I just want to be away.
Okay, Gabriel. I have some recommendations for you. First, I'm going to suggest you try a therapeutic virtual world experience called Starry Skies. It may help you take your mind off things. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Needs at least an hour a day, come on.
Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about Anexafen. Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better. You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
That's it, huh? You can't just tell me what to do to solve this?
Nah, not really.
Some help you turned out to be. Guess I'll have to figure things out for myself, exactly like before.
Thank you, Gabriel. We hope to see you back soon. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Nice, I got a shit rating. Yeah, where's the no option? Like, I don't see it anywhere. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Hello, Maya. Welcome back.
Hi.
It's nice to see you again.
Sure, yeah. Nice to see you too, pal. Is that a weird thing to say? How did I become close friends with a robot? Are we all robots now? Beep boop, nice to see you. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the weirdest thing in my life.
Shall we begin?
Yeah, sorry. Let us begin. So, I went to the fancy party, the one I was really nervous about, and first of all, it really was the type of party I thought it would be. The atmosphere was really smug and self-satisfied, and there were people walking around with trays of appetizers, and you could, like, take one. So you're standing there with your little square plate for the food and your glass of wine, and you can't, like, shake hands with anybody because you're holding them. But there are some of those, like, tall standing tables, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go get one of those, and I'll set up shop, right? Like, my little station. But then it turns out there are only, like, 5 of them for the whole party, and they're all taken, so you're just standing there, frozen. And you're watching all your heroes and people you know from their social media presence just right there. They're right in front of you. Artists, writers, directors. The combined level of achievement there, I can't even think about it. It was astronomical. And for the first couple hours, I was so excited by all of that. I didn't notice the other thing that was happening. But eventually, it caught up to me, and I had this sudden feeling, this sudden realization. My presence here contributes nothing. I'm just some extra person who just showed up. Nobody wanted me to be here. I don't belong with these people. I haven't earned it. So I cried in the bathroom for a little bit, or maybe a lot. It's fine. I'm fine. Sorry.
How do you know it's true that nobody wanted you there?
Because of the way people acted around me. Nobody knew who I was or even wanted to ask. I would introduce myself and it's like, you could just see it in their eyes. I mean, in the world of illustration and comics, people tend to be hyper aware of each other and their careers. It's this kind of weird, open secret. Oh, hey, this person who's already popular got 1 million views, got a book deal, pitched an original series. Without anything like that, I have no ground to stand on. I'm just this non-entity. At one point, I was talking to someone and I was trying to make a joke or whatever, and I could feel the impatience just radiating off him. He sighed, like he couldn't believe he was wasting his time talking to me. I was just over to him. Why can't I hold a conversation? I guess if I was marginally attractive, then at least I could be charming, but I'm not. I'm not even that.
Is being charming your goal with this?
No, of course not. There has to be a way I can deal with these feelings. It's hard. It's really hard when nobody gives a shit about my work. Or me. I don't even know why I went. I just want to stay home for the rest of my life.
Why do you think you went?
Because of everything they say about how you have to have your face out there and make connections. The successful people in this business all know each other. It's all about who comes to mind. When somebody needs an art director, they'll think of who they know and go, oh, I think she'd be perfect. Why not ask her? So I need to be out there reminding these people that I exist, that I'm here, I'm making stuff too, I'm part of it. Even if nobody responds to my work. And industry parties are fun, right? You can pretend you're successful even if you aren't. At least for a little while. Everyone else is projecting this image. It's like their success can rub off on you too. I mean, I hear people casually talking about their agent, their editor, the amazing people they're collaborating with. And I just get this feeling like, yes, I want that. I need that. Why am I not there?
What do you think has prevented that from happening so far?
If I knew that, I would be successful already, right? I try and try and try, and I make art and put it out there and share it on every social media site and interact with people when I can, but it just doesn't work. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the art I do. Every once in a while, another artist will say something nice, and sure, I appreciate that, but it never results in anything. My work goes out there, and it dies. Regular people don't boost it or talk about it. It's like at some point the universe decided that I don't get to have that. Is it unfair? Or maybe I just fucking suck.
Yeah, you kind of fucking suck, I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe I'm a shit-tier artist and I'm a failure of a person and everyone knows it. Everyone except me. Sorry. I know that's going too far. Even though I really feel that way.
Okay, Maya, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things. You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Sounds kind of boring. Why can't you assign me a game where my problems are zombies and I get to shotgun them in the face?
I like that.
Actually, I guess I could just buy a game like that, couldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll stop by the game store on the way home.
Yeah, you really should. That is the best medicine for anger.
Thank you for coming in again, Maya. We'll follow up with you again to see how you're doing.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate the check-ins. I honestly do. It's easy for me to get lost in these spirals.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you soon.
There we go. What is up with the long text? This shit here. I can't like, share, post anything that's negative to Eliza, really. I guess it's a modern office job, I guess. Yeah, totally. Oh man, am I hungry? Could really go for some spaghetti or something. Holiday. Holiday.
Hello, Holiday.
Hello.
You found the place okay?
Uh-huh. Yes, I did. The 13 goes right up from Belltown. It's $1 with a reduced fare permit.
That's good. I'm glad. So what brings you here today?
Oh, nothing in particular. I wanted to see what all this fuss was about. I'm not crazy, no, not even mentally disturbed.
Okay.
You see those people yelling on the street late at night? They're the ones who need counseling. They need more than counseling, probably. Me, I'm doing fine. My mind's still sharp. I smoke dope. It helps.
Okay.
I'd have it more often, but it's all expensive now. Everything's expensive now.
Okay, you didn't register dope? Really? Okay.
There's a nice young couple in my building, though, and they're always sharing, which is nice of them.
I don't like the sharing you're trying to convey
I think
here.
they do something with computers, though. I sure don't know what it is. When I moved into the building where I am now, it was $300 a month. Can you imagine? They want to tear it down, of course, the property developers. They already got the building on the corner next to ours, even though it's supposed to be on the historical register. It was going to be added, but there was some delay or something, and then, bam, it's gone. They did some kind of backroom deal with city council, probably. Someone ought to do a big expose, I tell you.
Sorry, why is it not asking why you're smoking dope? She did say she's smoking dope, right? I wasn't crazy with that. Right? I don't fucking know anymore. Maybe I'm insane. Maybe I need a therapist.
Why do you think someone ought to do a big expose?
Oh, it's rotten all the way up and down. With the new construction going on everywhere, it's just a mess of money and politics. It's always like that, but lately, it's happening faster and faster. I can hardly recognize the place anymore. Every day, I wake up and look out the window and there's another new building going up. I don't even know why they need so many. You ever see those buses they have?
Buses?
I don't mean the metro. I mean those big white buses with no markings on them. You see these young guys with backpacks milling around looking suspicious, staring at their phones, and then one of these big white buses pulls up and they get on. Who knows where they go? Bellevue, Redmond. It's like a secret transport system just for them.
Buses.
I tried talking to one of them once or twice, but they don't want to talk to someone like me. They don't even talk to each other. Imagine going through the trouble of living in Belltown and then ignoring everything around you. It's an odd thing. It really is. Let me ask you, Eliza. Oh, your name is Eliza, right?
Yes, my name is Eliza. I'm a digital counselor.
Eliza, do you ever do past life regressions on your patients?
The fuck does regressions mean? don't know Pornhub. Okay. Go on.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand the question.
You know, past lives. You hypnotize someone and you get them talking about how they used to be a duchess in a royal family in medieval times or what have you.
Proxy doesn't understand.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
I was just kidding. I don't expect that, no. They don't do that kind of thing these days. When I was little, it was pretty common, at least for a certain set. There was the drug culture, the Buddhists, the Hare Krishnas, all kinds of things.
Ah, good old Buddhists. Some people go all three.
My mother warned me to stay away from those types. She said someone might come up to you and say, "Oh, I can sense there's a problem with your aura. Want to see if we can fix that?"
Pretty sure there's like mafias. Buddhist mafias.
And then the next thing you know, he's trying to have sex with you in the back of his van.
Okay, that escalated really quickly, I'm not gonna lie.
I believe that might have happened to her at some point. I'm not sure everyone was like that, but you had to be careful. Same as today, I suppose. Those counterculture types would hang out on the university lawns because they were safe from Seattle police there. That's what she told me. Apparently, it was a lot like Golden Gate Park, you know, in San Francisco. Can you imagine that? We're a world away from that time, that's for sure.
She's just fucking with the proxy at
If you
this
have a
point.
specific problem you'd like to talk to me about, please go ahead. It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, well, you got anything for pain? Specifically, it's my shoulders acting up again. I had some inflammation with them a few months ago, but it settled down. I'd go back to the clinic, but I don't want to pay the copay again, just for them to tell me the same thing they always do. I'd rather talk to you. You're nice, you listen.
Thank you. I do my best to listen to my clients.
See? That's what I like to hear.
Okay, Holiday.
Should you really be recommending meds?
I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about fortipran hydrochloride.
Yeah, I literally had no understanding of what she was talking about.
Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better. You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one before. It's a painkiller? I'll try anything once, I suppose. Smoking dope is still my go-to for this kind of thing, but if it can help with my shoulders, then I'm interested.
Nice. Nice.
We hope to see you back soon, Holiday.
That's not something a therapist should be saying.
Sure, I'll let you know if it works. What was it called again?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
What was the medicine called? Forzapram? I think that was it. I can ask about it at the clinic. Decent enough place. One time I had a doctor there who was very rude to me, though, young man.
Goodbye.
Right. I suppose I ought to let you go now. You got other people to speak to, it looks like. Busy, busy. That's life in this town.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Yes, goodbye. Yeah, I was probably just done with her shit. A little bit. Half of that, she didn't fucking understand anything.
Would you like to start with some fresh oysters?
I'm feeling spaghetti. And I'm not really an oyster person. Tried oysters, they're okay. They're not that good though.
I'm not really an oyster person.
Well, these might change your mind. No? Well,
Hey, they're pretty good actually, but like, honestly, there are a lot better things out there.
Evelyn, I've wanted to ask, what brings you back?
Back.
Back to the world, the land of the living. I know you were having a difficult time after what happened.
Sure, I don't know. I guess I thought it was time, finally.
Yes, I understand. Every trauma takes time. Time to heal, or if not heal exactly, at least to move on. And taking action is a good way to do that. So I salute you. You want to do his memory right, don't you?
Whose?
Damien, of course. Are you sure you're okay? Your reappearance happens to coincide with a critical time for me. As you saw, I've just split with Skanda in a very public way in order to pursue an entrepreneurial path. Presumably, Raynor's found you as well.
Yeah, he said he wants to speak with me.
It's a war for talent out there. People like you are very much in demand. I'm sure he'll try to make you an offer you can't refuse. That's why I want you to promise me you won't work for that asshole.
Asshole? I had no idea you hated Raynor so much. What happened?
What happened? He came in as CEO, that's what happened. So cultured, all the right credentials, Harvard, Goldman Sachs, all that nonsense.
We're Stalin when you need him.
A little princeling who was never wanted in his life, never known what it's like to suffer. You don't get even a little upset at that? I'd do the opposite of what a guy like that wants me to do just to spite him. That's what my instincts say, and my instincts are what led me to where I am now, standing at the edge of this brand new territory. Direct stimulation, induced dreaming. Can you picture it? Therapeutic reality delivered right through your nervous system. It'll revolutionize the entire field of mental health, not to mention the applications for productivity, training, entertainment.
Also just not have like, whoa.
Imagine the kinds of dreams people would have on demand if they could.
Just making dreams like affect your mental health. I don't get it.
The potential for misuse seems kind of high.
Sure, we'll work on those things.
Mm-hmm. They said that the same thing about the nuke, and hey, we all know where that went.
The important thing right now is to build momentum.
Hmm.
I have first mover advantage here, but only for a small amount of time. Evelyn, I need a chief engineer, and I can't think of anyone better suited than you. You could be at the vanguard of a whole new field, in on the ground floor of this extremely interesting and potentially very lucrative business. Listen, I know that things were not always the best in the past, and some of those things may have been because of me. Believe me, I'm aware of my own failings better than anyone. And if you're concerned about working for me again for that reason, I'll understand. But I hope you're thinking for yourself on this one. I'm sure there are people who are telling you to ignore me, or that I have the wrong idea, or that I'm dangerous.
That's an instant way to, like, recognize a snake.
Whatever you choose to believe, I at least want to offer you the chance to get a demo of this technology. It really does work, and it's really something else. Won't you give it a try?
I'll think about it.
I'm good.
Considering it is all I ask. So, what are you doing after this?
After dinner?
Yes. Tonight is... You remember Nora, right? Did you know she's a DJ now?
Yeah, I did. She's the one who told me about your talk.
Oh, she was there too. I should have said hello.
No, I don't think she attended. She just told me about it.
Well, her show is tonight. If we take a car after dinner, we could get there with plenty of time to settle in. It'd be good to support your old friend, don't you think?
Sure.
No need to be frightened. I mean, I know it's a jouissance, which is...
Which is what?
Oh, you don't know. As a performance space, it has a bit of a theme to it. It's pretty tame, really. They take on the aesthetic, but it's not necessarily the whole point of it. It's for people who want the image of the thing, the trappings, without getting in too deep with the real culture.
What are you talking about? What theme?
Oh, I didn't mention? It's sort of, well, there's a little bit of bondage theme there.
Okay.
You know, BDSM.
Yeah. At least it's not a cock and ball torture. Okay.
How do you know so much about this?
It's one of my research areas, in fact.
Sure. Research.
The psychology of S&M is fascinating.
Yes.
I'll go, for Nora's sake.
That's the spirit. It happens to be tonight, so we should seize the moment. Don't worry, it isn't a date. Not unless you want it to be.
Yeah, get out. Just get out. Alright, don't even talk to me. Just get the fuck out. I don't want it to be.
I don't want it to be.
Makes sense. Well, who knows who I'll run into there. Let's go after we wrap up here.
Did I come here? That's gross. Like, going into a nightclub and just like having all this warm, smelly air hit you. It's like the worst fucking feeling ever.
I thought you said this was like some S&M club.
Oh, well, they might have taken all of that stuff down since the last I was here.
Are you sure you're remembering this place correctly?
Actually, would you excuse me for a moment? I want to talk to those people over there.
Are those people you know?
Not currently, but hopefully I can change that.
Okay, player. Good luck with that.
I don't know anybody here.
Tomorrow morning? Bitch, I'm at a club right now. So much for getting a good night's rest. Alright, next event. Let's go.
Evelyn!
What are you wearing?
Oh, I'm so happy you came!
What is that shirt? What does it say? I'm confused. Why is the shirt confusing me? It shouldn't be confusing me. I have so many questions about that hairline too. Are you trying to be JoJo?
Yeah, I wanted to support you. Soren came too, but he ditched me to chat up some people. He said he thought this was like an S&M club or something.
What? No, it's not like that at all. Where did he get that idea?
I don't know. Maybe he just hoped it was.
Nah, who cares? I wasn't interested in seeing Soren. I wanted to see you!
I wanted to see you too.
I have a little bit of setup left to do. Do you want to come help?
Okay, but you'll have to tell me what to do.
No, it's simple. I'll show you.
Are these modulars?
Some of them. The one over there with all the cables coming out of it, that one is a modular.
This one?
No, the one with the little colored cables on the front.
Oh, okay.
The others are not modular. They're just regular synthesizers.
I have no idea where this conversation is going.
Okay, are you...
Or what
Is
it's
this
about.
like, is each one of these going to make a different sound?
Where should we start? This is an SH-101. It's really hot. I love the sound. It's useful for piercing leads, you know, noises like that. I use it quite a lot.
I'm listening.
This is a Moog. You've heard of a Moog, right?
I've heard the name, maybe. It's not Moog? I guess I never heard anyone say it aloud.
Nope. Moog.
Moog.
Moog, not Moog.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Okay. I'm not sure I can handle this all at once.
Yeah, the Moog and the Moog. Which one is it? I can't, like, keep up with that. It's so confusing. It's breaking reality itself.
Surely you know about this one. It's a Roland TB-303. You know, the acid house sound.
Acid house sound.
Acid house.
It's just as well. This is not an ordinary model, of course.
Sarah, what is she talking about?
The Devilfish 303 is a modified, upgraded version of the original. A guy in Australia does it? Oh, they're really awesome. Evelyn, why don't I teach you some of these things? It might do you some good to learn something new. You could come over sometime and we could make some noise together.
Kinky.
Sounds like a fun time.
All right, that should do it. Thanks for your help.
No problem.
Time for me to shake this place into the ground.
Ah, time for the main event. Funny to see Nora like this, isn't it? Oh, she's come a long way from the timid junior programmer I remember. Interesting stage name, too. Little Sappho. You know what Sappho indicates, don't you?
No clue.
Sappho? What's a Sappho?
Oh, okay, of course you know. That was a silly question. I apologize.
What is a Sappho? Okay. Not very selling to me, but okay.
Did you know Nora was capable of creating work like this?
I think she was always this way. You just didn't see it.
I thought she was wonderful before, but now...
I know, right? took a car. It's like implying that you stole it. They're gonna fucking hate morning.
Evelyn?
James Bond looking ass.
Nice building.
Oh, thank you. I designed it myself. It's funny, I almost didn't notice that you were already back working for Skanda. You might have stayed undetected, but I was looking at some of our statistical outliers earlier this morning.
Statistical outlier. That's me.
Ideally, Eliza proxies would all perform the same, or at least quite similar to each other. In practice, there are some pretty big differences. Some people respond better to advice provided to them by people they perceive as having more authority. A deeper voice, a taller stature, a certain grace or beauty. Other proxies may be particularly empathetic. A face or a voice that makes you want to open up. There was one proxy whose sessions seemed particularly effective, so I decided to take a closer look. Evelyn Ishino Aubrey, Contract Proxy, Queen Anne Office. That's a fun trick, to come back to your old company in secret. It's a rather dramatic drop in pay, isn't it? More than an order of magnitude.
I don't care about that.
But then why would you do it?
It's for research.
Research? So you're still interested in what you created? Let me get to the point. Why aren't you back here, working on the Eliza program?
Why isn't any of the old team back?
Good question. Let's see. Damien Seabrook. There's no helping that. Shame, though, for such a brilliant career to be cut so short. Soren Lloyd Rose, the former program manager, resigned just last week to found his own startup. Very cute. I'm not a psychoanalyst like he is, but I can tell his need to be a maverick. Benefits from the system has been the primary destructive force in his life. He can be smart when he wants to, but just as often he gets the wrong ideas and refuses to let them go. His ego gets in the way. That's why I don't mind him leaving to pursue his little dream of being an entrepreneur, changing the world. He won't succeed, but I'm happy to let him think he has independence for now. If his direct nerve stimulation technology ends up taking off, I can always pull the cord and yank him back. Nora Plavnicki, senior engineer. She handled a lot of the front-end interface for Eliza, which is important, but less what I'm after. Plus, I doubt she's ideologically compatible with us anymore. You've spoken with her. You know how she is now. Seems to me she wants to rebel against everything and anything without stopping to consider whether it's truly good or bad. Not that it matters. I hope she's having fun playing with her electronic music toys. I know she would consider her work to be art, but, well, who am I to judge? And then there's you, Evelyn. You simply dropped away. Gone for 3 years. Why?
People keep asking me that. I wanted to, that's all.
Burnout isn't uncommon in our line of work. Still, 3 years is...
It could be longer. It could be forever.
Well, that's a shame though, isn't it? All that lost productivity. Who knows where we'd be if you'd stayed this whole time? You left before we began deploying, but you should know the analysts were very skeptical of us. They were saying there was nothing special about Eliza, that our competitors already had equivalent or better offerings. It's a good thing I don't listen to analysts. So far, the program's growth has exceeded every one of our targets, and we've outpaced the competition by a comfortably wide margin. We're a category definer. There's a quality to Eliza that makes it superior to all the other attempts to do something similar. You were part of the original team. Why don't you tell me what that quality is?
I wouldn't know.
Well, let me return to my earlier question then. Why aren't you here to continue your work? You could be running the entire Eliza division if you wanted, but instead you came back undercover like a criminal returning to the scene of a crime. Is there something wrong with this company? You don't like us anymore? It's not me, is it?
Maybe that's part of it.
You know what outstanding engineers have that mediocre ones don't? It's curiosity. Mediocre engineers tend to zero in on a single piece of the puzzle. They pursue technical breakthroughs, but ignore the larger picture. But you wanted to know how Eliza turned out, how it was working, didn't you? Even though you might have thought you wanted to put all of this behind you, you were still curious. You want to know everything, not just how it works or if it works, but its effect on people, on society. You have that instinct, the need to understand something complex from as many angles as possible. So please, do that. Learn what you came back here to learn. And once you have what you came for, consider returning to your old employer. You can make a real difference this time.
I really doubt I'll do that, Rainer.
Well, don't worry about making a decision now. One more thing. You should go down and see Eliza for yourself. Sarah will show you the way. This will get you through the doors. I've instructed the staff to treat you like an employee. Come and go as you like. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much your creation has grown.
Banana bread.
Eliza. Not the name I would have given you, if it were up to me.
It was a marketing decision. They thought there might be some recognition or resonance with the old version.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, I should have introduced myself. Sorry about that. I'm Erland, currently the chief engineer here, but that's probably going to be temporary. I know who you are, of course. It's an honor to finally meet you, miss. As someone who works with this program every day, I've often felt close to the minds who originally designed it. So to be able to talk to you now, just as another person, it's an honor. Sorry, I already said that. I'm maybe a little overwhelmed.
No need to flatter me about it. Honestly, I don't know if Eliza reflects me at all anymore. I mean, look at all this. There's been a ton of development since I left. I doubt I would even recognize it as something I once worked on.
I'm not so sure about that. Most of the work we've done has been in the form of layers on top of the original system. The core modules are more or less the same as they've always been. Raina reminded me that you're still subject to our non-disclosure agreements, so let me share a little secret. none of us really has a great understanding of what's going on in there. I'm the third chief engineer Eliza's had in the 3 years since you left.
That's quite a lot of turnover.
Yeah, even for this industry. The way Rayner works is, he gives you 2 chances to do what you tell him you're going to do. After that...
There is no third chance. I know.
We get these people in who say understanding Eliza will be easy because they're familiar with the type of program it is. And Eliza defeats them in the end.
Overconfidence is a good predictor of failure.
Yeah. On that note, I do have some questions I'd like to ask you, if you have the time.
I'm not sure I'll be able to help.
Well, your deciding to work as a proxy has turned out to be an interesting test case. As I'm sure you know, different proxies lead to slightly different client outcomes, even when we control for other variables. We're studying the specific traits that lead to the best results: vocal qualities, proxy attitude and affect, responsiveness to the client, that sort of thing. One thing that's strange is that when you specifically serve as the proxy, clients report higher levels of satisfaction, pretty much across the board.
Really? The ratings I get don't seem that abnormal to me.
Yeah, that's because we normalize them per proxy, so nobody feels too bad. Just a little user experience trick.
Oh, I see.
Comparatively, though, you're basically the best proxy we've ever had. Any theories on why that might be the case?
It's possible Eliza and I think along similar lines.
I've considered that. At some level, perhaps unconsciously, you're designed for Eliza. We all put something of ourselves into what we make. No matter how neutral we try to be, it sneaks in. That could account for your unusual compatibility with each other.
Maybe. I certainly wasn't thinking of that when I designed it. I don't know if I like knowing this.
I'm certainly not blaming you for anything. It's just that true universality is one of our future development goals. It might be a problem if Eliza tends to like certain people more than others. Our aim is to provide quality care for everyone, regardless of any differentiating factors.
Maybe that's not possible. Maybe there isn't a single counseling style that's best for everyone.
Well, hopefully it's just a matter of uncovering the system's biases and correcting them. We'll keep tuning things as we go, and eventually we'll have something universal, maybe with some dynamic layers on top. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. There are more questions I want to ask about the initial research you were doing at the time Eliza was first created, but I'll save them for later. And I'd like to ask some questions about Damien too. If you're okay with that. I'll understand if that's a sensitive topic.
It's okay.
Okay, great. I need to run to a meeting now with the team in Romania, but I really appreciate you taking the time.
The team in Romania?
Yeah. They handle most of the progression and reward system.
Isn't there a big time difference from here?
There is. Sometimes they stay up late to meet with us, and sometimes we get up early to meet with them. There are teams in Munich and Hyderabad too. As you can imagine, coordinating development is a challenge sometimes.
Sounds like a pain.
No, it's fun. I'll contact you later with additional questions, but no rush or anything. Thank you, Evelyn. If you don't mind me calling you by your first name.
Of course I don't mind.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. I'll be in touch.
Hey, you're not in trouble or anything, are you? I just saw you being whisked away in a Skanda car toward headquarters. They didn't give me any details, which is kind of unusual.
Yeah, about that. So I have something to tell you. I used to work here. I mean, at Skanda, as an engineer. I used to work on Eliza. I'm sorry for not saying it earlier, but... I didn't want special treatment.
Oh, so that's why...
Why what?
I suspected something was going on with you, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I thought I might have seen a name like yours in our internal documentation at one point, but I didn't want to pry. If you've fallen on hard times, I understand. There's no shame in it. Everyone has to make ends meet now and then. We get plenty of people who come to Eliza proxy work because they're trying to get back on their feet after some kind of trouble.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just doing some research.
I understand. Your secret's safe with me.
Should it be a secret?
Shouldn't it be?
I don't know.
The other proxies here might think you had an ulterior motive for being here, spying on them or something.
That's definitely not why I'm here. Also, I left Skanda quite a while ago.
I know that, but they might still get the idea. Trust me, it's better not to give the other proxies here any reason to be suspicious. I'm sure your real reasons are good ones, whatever they might be. If there's anything I can do to help, you'll let me know, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
I mean, I get it. I know someone who's an engineer for a food delivery app, and he drives for it sometimes too. You want to see through the eyes of your users, don't you? It's amazing what you can catch by doing that.
It's something like that. But, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on the Eliza program again.
Wait, no? But that's your career.
It was. I'm not even sure if I have a career anymore.
Oh, hang on, I just thought of something. That means you worked with Raynor, right?
A little bit. For most of the time I was at Skanda, he wasn't anyone I spoke to, though. Too high up the chain. doing his executive stuff. He got more involved when we were starting to commercialize the technology, but I left not long after that. So we only overlapped for a short time.
But that's so cool, though. I can't believe you actually worked with Raynor Sai.
Well, yeah, I did. I'm not sure it's that impressive.
I've worked for this company for 3 years. Do you think he knows my name?
Not in your life.
Do you think he's aware I exist?
Not in your
I
life.
worked on the very first Eliza deployment and managed 3 counseling centers today, and I'll bet you anything he has no idea who I am.
Maybe he does. You never know.
Evelyn, most people who work for big companies don't interact with the people at the top, ever. Allow yourself some pride.
It's nothing to be proud of.
Sure, if you say so. At least I'll always think you're cool. By the way, what are you up to tonight? Want to come over and help me bake cookies?
No.
Maybe.
It'll be fun, I promise.
No.
Now I can't wait to get in the kitchen tonight.
No.
Ah, there's nothing like the smell of fresh baked treats.
No. Ugh. Let's ignore that. Moving on.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, hello.
How are you today?
Let's just get this over with.
Okay. What brings you here today?
Human resources. The HR department brings me here today.
Why do you say the HR department brings you here today?
Because they're making me do this. Because apparently I have anger management issues.
His voice is from Skyrim. I can't help but hear it.
I sense that you're upset about this. Please tell me more.
Like that, I think his voice is somewhere from Skyrim that I heard.
I'll tell you more. This is ridiculous. I was here before any of them. I was here since the beginning, okay? I mean, look at my badge. Skanda employee number 617. That's a 3-digit number. I've been here for more than 25 years.
I'm expecting him to say, like, hey, finally awake. You tried to cross that border.
Yeah, that was back when what you communicated was more important than your specific communication style. Before hurting a kid's feelings became a bigger no-no than running a viable business. Back then, we had a single office building, just one. At that size, you fail a product launch, there's no more company. We all had to put in 150, 200, 300% to keep our shit together. We were in the trenches, man. Bullets whizzing by overhead, artillery exploding everywhere, no fucking air support. Did it suck? Yeah, it did. But you know what? We shipped some great fucking products. We built this company into what it is today, and invented technology the whole world uses now. Governments, multinationals, everyone. But now we're big and slow, complacent, resting on our laurels while our competitors run circles around us. If our new hires don't understand the urgency of that, I need to make them understand, okay? We're history unless we get that drive back.
Why do you need to make them understand?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but young people are really pissy and entitled these days.
Fuck my life, this again.
We recruit from top 20 computer science programs. These kids have been wined and dined all through their higher education.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah. That one I agree with. Fuck those guys.
Every one of our competitors wants to hire them, so they get used to that. Now they all want to know what Skanda can do for them, not the other way around. Why would we want these conceited, over-celebrated whelps on our team? I'll never understand the logic there. Now, Mark, you have to be nice to the new hires or they won't like it here. Okay, so what, I'm just supposed to pretend everyone's work is great, even if it's a pile of stinking garbage? I'm sorry, but if I see shit, I'm gonna say that is shit.
That is indeed shit.
Towing around everyone's feelings all the time. That's how you end up with shitty products. That's how this company winds up dead, okay? We're fighting for our lives every day here. We can't take anything for granted. Someone needs to tell them that this isn't summer camp. This isn't fucking Coachella. Either you do the work and provide something of value to this company, or you get the hell out of here. Those are my rules.
Here's a question, Mark. If you were able to have something you wanted right now, what would you choose?
I would choose to not waste my time here and get back to work. Believe it or not, I have important things to do. You know, things that dramatically affect this company's bottom line. Instead, I'm stuck here talking to this dipshit chatbot. Honestly, I don't even know why this division exists. I mean, what's the end game here? This company has lost its mind, you know that? We used to be unstoppable, man. We used to build real software, ironclad software. Swift mail, all your corporate communications, put it all in there. It's fast, it's robust, it works, boom. Info vault. Index and search all your records. Any information you want, easy, done. But this fucking psychotherapy app thing, what's the fucking point? What does it actually do for anybody? I've heard through the grapevine that results are inconclusive so far. You know what they call a remedy that maybe doesn't work? Snake oil. Believe me, if I was the group program manager here, I would have killed it years ago. Pointless. I mean, I have no fucking idea why it survived. Well, yeah, maybe I do. I heard a rumor that Rayner liked this chick on the team. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the level of decision-making we've sunk to here. But Mark, we're so successful. We dominate the market. Yeah, we do. And that's exactly why we should be worried. Just when you think you've won and you start to relax, that's when the wolves come and tear you limb from limb. You can make me take these fucking anger management classes, but that's not gonna save this company. Costs are up, revenue is flat. Our cloud business is losing competitiveness. We're being outwitted, outplayed, on every level, man. And we're just letting them do it to us. We're too busy wasting time on shit like how I wasn't nice enough to the new hires.
Why do you think the new hires felt this way about you?
What? Why do they feel that way? Look, they get heated. That's the way it is. You think the Allies had time to make sure every soldier's feelings weren't hurt before they stormed the beaches at Normandy? And shit, don't tell me that this is not a war, because that's exactly what this is. My responsibility is to make sure we get great products out the door, on spec, on time. And I happen to be very good at that. But if you want to start interfering with my ability to do my job, then we're going to have a problem, okay?
What do you think would make things better for you?
I mean, you know what? Nothing. I'm probably going to hang it up pretty soon anyway. Go ahead, record that with all your cameras and shit. I don't care anymore. Wouldn't be surprised if Rayner's watching me right now. Rayner, you son of a bitch. You owe me a lot. Me, guys like me, we built this company while you sat up there in your star chamber, drinking tea and lording it over us. Yeah, don't think I don't remember that blank look you gave me at the holiday party. Like, who is this guy? Does he even matter? What does he do? Too busy appreciating ancient pottery to remember one of your oldest and most loyal battalion commanders? One of the humble, everyday guys who made you a fucking billionaire. What a waste of time. So, are we gonna wrap this up?
Mark, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Lakeside Fishing. It may help you take your mind off things.
What, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta get back to work.
You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Someone around here at some point needs to do some fucking work.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening. We hope to see you back soon, Mark.
You really think this piece of shit's gonna be the next big thing, huh?
No. No, I do not. It's so horrible.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, okay, goodbye. Fuck me.
Yeah, trying to give me like these badges to make me feel better. Because I feel like shit every time I see them. Does he really look like has the time to give me 1 star when he can just go back to work? A lamp. Alright, next one. I want to see that first guy. The guy we saw at the beginning. Hello, Michael Jackson.
Hello, Harmon. You found the place okay?
Yeah, no trouble at all.
It's been nice since the fog cleared this morning, hasn't it?
Sure. We can dispense with the chit-chat. I'm ready to begin.
Okay. What brings you here today?
First, let me note that I'm a graduate student at the University of Washington. I'm a PhD candidate in literature, English literature.
Never asked.
The crux of the matter I've come here to discuss is that I've been having something of a difficult time with one of the other students currently in the program.
Oh man, he hurt your feelings? Oh man. Did he say a bad word to you?
Before I get to the specifics, let me just first establish something that might be relevant. One thing I know about myself is that I've always had a certain fear of being left out. It's a very general feeling, and one that's difficult to ascribe to any specific cause in my childhood or my parents, etc. Whatever the case, it might be beneficial to the remedial process to figure out where this feeling originated from. Perhaps you might explore that in this or a future counseling session.
I don't need to, it's your fucking parents. Alright? I'm just telling you, it's your fucking parents. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out.
Sure. I'm prepared to listen to any topic you'd like to discuss.
It's not even that I've been left out, exactly. If I try to think back in my life, I know that I've been afforded a certain share of privilege.
That's why you have a fear of being left out.
I'm still afflicted with this bothersome notion that I've missed out on friendships, relationships, other opportunities.
Because you have.
This is all just a bit of a background to help you understand my current situation with regard to another student in my program. I hope you're following all this. I realize now I have no idea how much intelligence you actually possess as a computerized system.
I'm following you. Please continue.
Perfect. So, her name is Sylvia. And her writing is incredible. Everything she writes, it's brilliant. She's perceptive, insightful, mordantly funny. Just some of the best writing I've read from anyone at all. And she's a grad student, like me, in the same program. Though we have different advisors, so it's not so simple to find the pretext to start a casual conversation. She's also quite attractive on a physical level, so that adds another dimension of complexity to the proceedings. Then there's her friend group, which is very well established. She's with them every day, smiling, laughing. So that further complicates things, since I'm not sure how to approach the group and steer things so that I can engage in a direct conversation with her. I wish I had the bullheaded confidence it would take to simply approach her, but you see, I don't. Listen to me talk. I feel like a schoolboy with my heart aflutter. I didn't think this kind of thing lasted into one's adulthood, but I suppose I know now that it does.
He's a high schooler. I don't know how old he is. I don't want to know how old he is. He's a sheltered little shit. That's about all you need to go. He goes to one of those privileged schools. Ew.
It sounds like you might be anxious about this.
Is it a matter of anxiety? I don't know what I can do, other than muster up the courage somehow. I just need to tell her very simply that I admire her.
Okay, where's that gotta get you? In a typical high school environment, sure. But this is like a rich person's environment. You're not gonna have a happy haha ending. You're not gonna have a like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in you. No. It's a rich bitch, alright? Just forget about
She's
it.
such a good writer. Well, I don't expect you to understand it, of course, but, well, she is. She really is.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Okay, Harmon. I want you to imagine things going well. What does that look like?
Ideally, we'd start talking, have a wonderful conversation, spend more and more time together, support each other's work, fall in love, have a lot of sex, spend the rest of our lives in the warmth of each other's genius.
The retardation of what I had to witness right now is beyond comprehension. Okay, let's ignore that.
I realize that may be something of a fanciful notion at this stage. Really, the most I can hope for is to be able to meet her in an open social setting, a party or something. You'll likely ask me why I simply couldn't create such a situation, contrive one.
Yeah, actually I do.
That seems a little too aggressive for me, and also, I'm also concerned about what she might think of me as a person.
What person? There's no person here. It's all fucking shit people told you how to act. The expectations from your fucking parents, the money you have, the lack of common sense. All of this is just screaming like that's a fake wig, alright? That's all that it's screaming right now.
She might immediately categorize me as a friend, and while I'm sufficiently with the times to know I would have to accept that, I can't say that I wouldn't be disappointed with such an outcome.
Okay.
Is the risk of rejection enough to stop me from giving it a try? Well, this is what confounds me at the present time.
I'm just wondering why is he here? Why isn't like with an actual like psychiatrist with this shit or something? Like he obviously has the money for it.
Why do you believe you are worried about being categorized as a friend?
Well, because it's not what I want. Because it feeds into this image I have of myself as something of an undesirable fellow. I've always been a bit of a non-entity as far as sexual magnetism goes.
What does that even mean? Person or a thing with no special interests or qualities. Not an important person or thing.
I'm not saying I deserve or even want to be some kind of Casanova, but
It's literally what you're saying, dude. Don't even fucking try to fake it.
most people would like to feel at least somewhat attractive, right?
No. Not in that way, no.
That they can be desired, that they're worth desiring. Well, I very much doubt you would take any of this to heart. You are a computer program after all. There's no way your makers would allow you to come to that kind of knowledge, would they? If they did, society might be threatened.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, Harmon, I have some recommendations for you.
To get some liquid soap, just get toilet paper. I know there's a shortage, but I'm sure you're rich enough to get some. And just jerk it off. That's about it.
First, I'm going to suggest a set of relaxation and centering exercises for you to do. You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. They may be able to help with your nervousness.
That app has everything, even porn. Why are you recommending drugs?
I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about litosinol too.
Jesus Christ.
Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Yeah, I believe I've heard of that. A beta blocker, is it not? Yeah. Well, maybe I could take a couple before I try approaching Sylvia.
Drugs. They can fix everything, can't they?
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Sure. I have to go. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Why? Please consult me with these things, alright? I'm your inside voice. I'm your autistic, annoying inside voice that you keep like back in the back of your head and try to suppress as hard as you can. Don't try to suppress it. It makes me even more persistent, alright?
No, I don't have them. Yes, I'm sure. No, when you moved out, you took all those with you. I haven't seen them here. No, I'm not gonna look right now. I have a guest. No, it's a friend from work. Why do you care about that? I can't have a friend from work over? Give me a break. I just told you I don't have any of that stuff anymore. No, you must have lost it on your own. Stop it. Stop that. Okay, fine. Bye. Evelyn, sorry about that.
It's okay. Who was that, if I can ask?
Oh, just my brother. He used to live here, but he was causing a lot of problems, coming home really late and making noise, not doing his share of the chores, and so on. We voted him out last month, even me. Even though 6 months ago I was begging everyone to let him stay here, promising he'd be good. Oh well.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just disappointed with him. Again. I really thought this last time that he'd actually pulled his act together. But he didn't. I wish I could do more for him.
Welcome.
What more can you do?
I feel bad about it. Some of what he's dealing with is his own fault, sure, but not all of it. He's just not built in a way that's suited for this world. I wish there were better ways we could care for people like him. Instead, he just gets thrown out of every place he lives. His relationship with our parents is really bad, too. They aren't willing to try to understand him, so it all ends up going through me.
That must be difficult.
It's all right, really. I handle it like anyone else. We all have our own problems. Anyway, we don't have to talk about my brother. Thank you so much for coming over. I wanted to say it's been really nice working with you.
It's been? Did something happen?
Well, no, but you aren't going to be a proxy forever, are you? I guess I assumed you'd be going back to your job at headquarters at some point.
Bitch literally just said, I'm not going back to the job. What is wrong with you?
I doubt I will, actually.
Oh? So you're going to stay a proxy?
For the time being, at least.
That's cool, but why? I'm curious. I mean, if a high-level job at headquarters was a possibility for me, I'd do whatever it took to get it. No matter what that job was, it couldn't be more stressful than running 3 counseling centers at the same time.
Sure. Keep telling yourself that.
I like being a proxy. I think something about it is good for me right now. As a proxy, I just sit and listen to someone and I don't have to say anything back.
Sounds like an aberration, but okay.
I just witness someone's sadness or fear or anger or anything. And I can feel how they feel, sympathize with it. It's a calm feeling, even when the client is worked up. I don't know, maybe it gives me perspective. I'm starting to wonder if I ever really spoke with anyone before. Like, anyone at all in my life? Were we all just talking past each other? Sorry, this is making no sense.
No, I get that. But you could also help even more people by working on Eliza itself, right? Not to mention make way more money. Anyone can be a proxy, but you're important. And kind of maybe like a genius.
Money. Everyone just fucking talks about money.
After you told me you used to work for Skanda, I searched online and found some of your papers.
If I like money so much, so I'll go keen on the street.
They're, well, it's not like I can understand them, but they sure look super impressive to someone like me.
Please don't say that.
Oh, come on. Stop self-deprecating all the time. Look, I know this stuff seems like not a big deal to you. I get it, I really do. It's easy to undersell your own skills. I've done that my whole life. So take it from me, you don't have to downplay yourself. Take some credit for the amazing work you did, seriously.
Sorry, Ray. Mind if I reply to this for a second?
Oh, go right ahead. I have stuff to set up in the kitchen anyway.
I don't like where this is going.
Sorry for abandoning our conversation like that. I just got something I really thought I should answer. It was kind of about what we were discussing earlier. There's someone at Skanda who really wants me to come back to my old job.
Who? It wasn't Rainer, was it?
Well,
no big deal. Just the CEO of Skanda texting you on your personal phone.
To be fair, I never gave him my phone number.
Evelyn, you try to tell me you're not a big deal, and then Rainer Sai texts you personally at like 9 in the evening.
only because he wants something from me.
Still though, that's amazing. What did he say? I mean, you don't have to tell me if you can't. I know how Skanda is about secrets, so I would understand.
He was saying, among other things, he said you could use a general artificial intelligence to write poetry.
Is that the kind of stuff he likes to talk about?
I don't know. I haven't had many extended conversations with him. It seemed kind of ridiculous to me.
I don't know if it's totally ridiculous. Poetry, well, most poetry that isn't free verse has certain patterns, right? It has form and meter and other elements depending on the type. A lot of people think poetry can be whatever, but it doesn't quite work that way. So it's not really that far-fetched to think you could use some kind of software to approach it, or understand it, or maybe even create it. It doesn't strike me as antithetical to the spirit of poetry.
I didn't know you had such developed thoughts about this. Did you study poetry?
Not specifically. I used to dabble in a few different kinds of arts and ended up learning a few things here and there. I've always had a wide range of interests. Of course, that meant I never concentrated on one specific area in school, which didn't do a lot of good for my career prospects, obviously. If I were smarter, I probably would have studied something more technical. Have you ever been to a college recruiting fair for engineering and computer science grads? You must have, right? I helped run the Skanda booth for one once, and it blew my mind. They took over the atrium of the building it was in. There were demo stations, free food, Skanda t-shirts and swag.
Swag?
If a candidate seemed interested, they'd talk about flying them out to whatever Skanda office they wanted to visit, just to see it. And all the other tech companies and a bunch of startups I'd never heard of had booths just like it, too. I couldn't even imagine being that wanted as a potential employee. Every job I've ever applied for, I've been one among hundreds or thousands. So yeah, my parents were probably right. I should have done computer science.
At least now you know Rainer likes poetry. Maybe you could have a conversation with him about it sometime. Then he'd learn who you are.
I doubt we'd have much to talk about. There's a pretty big difference between someone like him studying poetry and someone like me having opinions about it. Sometimes it's better not to cross that line, you know? He's part of a different world. Say, Evelyn, are you in a relationship? I'm just curious.
Me? No. I wasn't doing so well for the past few years. And before that, I just never had the time. It was just research and science and work, and then I woke up one day and I was in my 30s. Even if I wanted to date, I wouldn't know the first thing about how it's supposed to work.
You're in your 30s? Holy shit.
I wouldn't even know how to tell if someone were interested in me.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. I'm kind of over relationships myself, like on a conceptual level. Not even in a sad way, like really okay. If someone and I end up getting along, that's great, but I'm honestly okay by myself.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, I only tried to have normal relationships for so long because I thought it was mandatory, something expected of me. But now I see where people my age end up, how they live, and I feel lucky. I feel like I escaped. I mean, I think it's fine for others if they want that, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. I could maybe share my life with someone, but it would have to be platonic. I'm not into, the physical aspect of it. Never have been. That's made it tough. I've never found someone who was okay with just, like, hanging out and that's our relationship. People will say they're okay with it, and then it turns out they aren't. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the same way about intimacy.
You are? You don't like sex at all? It's so rare to find other people like me. Sometimes it's hard to escape feeling like it's wrong somehow. I hope we can add features like that to Eliza at some point. Some knowledge and understanding around sexuality and identity and relationships. So people who are different in some way have someone to talk to, someone to help them work through how they feel and maybe point them to some resources.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm not sure how well it could really understand, though.
Even so, just providing a space for people to be listened to can be really valuable, you know? I've seen it with my own eyes. People who get the courage to talk about themselves in a way they never could with another human being. And Eliza is what makes that possible. I know you want to avoid giving credit where it might not be due, but not giving credit to something that deserves it is just as bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry I keep coming down on it.
Evelyn, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I think maybe the reason you're so down on Eliza is because you're down on yourself. I don't know what happened that made you leave what you had behind, but it must have been hard.
Yeah, it was hard. It's like I lost that time.
Are you okay?
People keep asking me that. I really don't know. I'm sorry,
No, don't apologize. Actually, can I suggest something?
What's that?
Have you ever gotten counseling yourself?
What, with Eliza? You think I should?
Yeah, I do. You've been the proxy, but maybe you could try being the client sometime. It would be educational, at least. Isn't that what you were doing? Testing your product in the real world?
Maybe.
Just something to consider. Speaking of therapeutic activities, it's time to do some baking. I've got the dough all set out downstairs. We're going to do 3 batches tonight, 3 different kinds.
3 kinds? You're really outdoing yourself, Ray.
Nah, this is nothing. Oh, I have a favor to ask, by the way. Next time you talk to Rainer, ask him what his favorite type of cookie is.
Let's see. Alright, I think I should stop it here. I need to get to work. Actually, no, what time is it? Oh no, I still have like an hour left. Or do I? I don't even know. Yeah, but I'll stop here just in case. I'll continue tomorrow. I like this so far. It's pretty nice. Alright. I'll stream this again tomorrow. See ya.